Okay, so now we have our leader attached to our spindle, and we have our pre-drafted fiber, and we just need to wind it around a little bit on the leader. You don't have to knot it. Some people do. I don't. I just get a real good going on there. And we're going to come up from the notch to the hook, and we're going to give it a good spin. And see how it's twisting up? We're going to give it one more good one. That's going to hold our leader in place. Now I'm going to build some energy up. And then I'm going to park it. And then I'm going to walk all this energy that's built up the fiber. And this is where we begin to spin our single ply. And before it completely undoes from the leader, I'm going to spin it off onto the spindle, starting from the whorl, and I'll work my way up and down. Now I've got about that much left. I'm going to build up some energy. I'm going to park it, and I'm going to walk that energy right up the fiber. And again, when I learned to spin, I'm such a fiber snob, I couldn't grasp it with what would be considered a normal or a typical wool. I had to actually start on alpaca. So if you find you're having trouble, don't just give up. Try a different fiber. So again, we're going to give it a spin. Try to catch them when they wobble. And we've got a lot of energy built up, so this one is going to go a long way. We're going to park it. And we're going to keep going up. As you notice, I'm actually drafting the pre-draft as I go along. And I have this handy little widget I got at Joann Fabrics that's made by Susan Bates Company. It's a yardage measurer, and you attach it to your table, and when you're winding your fleece off that is now yarn, you can measure how long you have. So we're going to build up some more energy. We're going to park it, and we're going to let it just spin itself up. We're going to walk some of that energy right up by twisting it to get just a little bit more, and give it a nice little tug. We're going to wind it onto our shaft. Now, I personally prefer a drop spindle to a wheel, although I've used many different types. I personally prefer drop spindles. Number one, they're portable. Number two, it's very relaxing, but it's also very quick. Like I said, we make some pretty ornate spindles here. They run between $20 and $50. They come unpainted, so if you wanted to personalize yours and paint it, you could. Or you can leave them raw white, which is my personal preference. They're extremely well balanced. They're made from nice hardwoods and brass fittings. And your first spin will probably be thick and thin. Don't let that worry you. And in fact, when you go to try and do it after you become an accomplished spinner, as I know you will, you won't be able to ever do it again. I've been trying to recreate the very first yarn that I spun and have not been able to successfully get the thick and thin back. So, what I've done now is what happens, and people usually get a panic going, I broke my fleece. And I did it on purpose so I could show you that it's really easy to put it back in. You've got the piece attached to your spindle, and you've got the draft. And I'm going to put a little bit of the pre-draft in. Then I'm going to spin this again. And then I'm going to just let it spin right over the spot where I joined them, and give it a little tug, and keep going. And that's basically drop spindle 101. Now, when you get your spindle completely full, and that's open to a subjective motion, when I stop, I always wind until I'm into the pre-draft. I fill my spindle until it's completely full up here and to about down here. and we're going to have to set the twist. And we're going to do that in our next video.